We are live. It is Friday. This is Eric with Low VA Rates. I don't know if you can smell what I smell, but it smells like hot dogs around here today at the office. Anyone that was wearing red, we had a nice barbecue out in the quad. The sun was shining, music was playing. So why do I share that with you before we get into the topic today? Just like our fans and our followers to know what sort of organization we are here at Low VA Rates. Every Friday, we wear red in support of those deployed. Red stands for remembering everyone deployed. We really truly believe that here at Low VA Rates. Hopefully when you call in and work with us, when that day comes, you'll feel different when you're working with us. We really honor and respect those that have served, their family members, and pretty much anyone that works with us, but we take extra special care of our veterans. So today we're going to talk about what is equity. And if you think you know what equity is, I'm going to try to spin that upside down and put it on its head a little bit today as we interact a little bit. First of all, the reason we're talking about equity, this is not something that we've talked about much here at Low VA Rates because it's been quite a few years since anyone in this country has been able to harness their equity or take advantage of their equity. If you rewind back to about 2006, 7, and 8, right around that time that the housing market collapsed, mortgage companies all over the country were going out of business, we all lost equity. I don't know if anyone that did equity in the United States was at an all-time, well, I shouldn't say an all-time low, but it went super low. Before I get into that, let's just define what equity is as far as what the masses understand it. Let's suppose your home is appraising for or worth $300,000, okay? So you've got a home, you go to Zillow, you go to Realtor.com, or you actually go out and get an appraiser to come in and appraise your home, and you think your value is $300,000. Now, if you owe $200,000, you have $100,000 in equity. Okay? Very simple. The difference between your mortgage balance and what somebody would pay you for the house, that is equity. Okay? Now, you might say, okay, well, I knew that. So aren't you going to teach me something new today? Looking for my eraser. Here it is. So we've got $100,000 in equity in this example. Here's the part that most people don't understand and what I really want to talk about today. Just because you have $100,000 in equity in your house, it doesn't matter. That's nothing more than a number on paper. So I tell people all the time when they're worried about losing equity or we start talking about equity, well, okay, it's a number. Right now, this $100,000 of equity is nothing more than a number. I compare it to stocks. Now, I'm not a stockbroker. Don't take my stock advice. But let's just say you bought Microsoft. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's their ticker symbol. Let's say you bought Microsoft way back in the day when it was only $10 a share. And then you've held it forever. I have no clue what Microsoft is worth today, but let's fast forward to 2017. And let's just say Microsoft is now worth $100 a share, okay? And you had, 500 shares. So you spent $5,000 years ago, and today, if you still have 500 shares, you have $500,000. Amazing return on your investment, yes. But I tell people all day long, great, you gained, what would that be? I'm on camera and I'm getting stumped here. You gained $495,000 in equity. I think I did that right. It doesn't matter until you sell the stock. It's paper value. So where am I going with all of that today? Right now in this country, most of you watching, if you are homeowners, you have equity. It's been a while since we've had homeowners with equity. Do something with that equity if you have any plans, because it's only a matter of time. Somebody might have $100,000 in equity in their house today. What happens if the market goes back down? The market will always go back down. Here's what it looks like. It's like a cycle. I'm not the person that does all this nice, artwork, but notice these arrows. Okay, this is kind of how the market works, the housing market. Right now we're way up here where a lot of people have equity. At some point, equity is going to go down. So more than ever here at Low VA Rates and many of our competitors, veterans, are coming to pull equity out of their house. Until you get that equity out of your house, it's nothing more than a number. You cannot, you can't do anything with it. So Introducing the VA Cash Out Equity Loan. VA Cash Out Equity Loan. We're talking a lot about that today and this month and this year because, as I mentioned, people have equity. We'll talk next week about how to get that equity out of your house. It doesn't mean go sell all of your copper pipes or start selling your doors. The only way that the value of your home can get into your pocket is if you use a VA Cash Out Equity Loan. And next week we'll talk about that. So if you have equity, please tune in next week. Now, before I wrap up, I always kind of ramble for a couple of minutes in case there are questions. I invite you to ask questions. If you're watching, it's always more fun when we have some real live, what's the word I'm looking for? I just got stumped again. Some exchange, some interaction. It makes these Facebook Live videos go that much better. Do we have anything?
Samantha asks, when is it a good time to do a cash out loan?
Okay, so right now. So Samantha, if you've been watching the whole time, great. If not, you can go back and rewatch this video. But ultimately, anytime a housing market is on an upward trend and home values have increased, that is a great time to take advantage. Because like I said, it's only a matter of time. You may not lose it all, but you'll lose some. And so take advantage when housing prices are up. I just read something on CNBC maybe 2-3 weeks ago that said for the first time since the housing collapse, we had like less than 1 million homes in the United States that were without equity. And again, don't quote me on that. The fact is, right now is a great time, Samantha, to take advantage of your equity. And why is right now even a better time than times in the past? Because interest rates are still super low. Interest rates are on their way up. Housing prices are going to have to level off and settle down at some point. So we kind of have the perfect opportunity right now. Low rates, high equity values in the United States, high housing values, great time to take advantage. And by the way, credit card rates are somewhere around 17% right now on average. As the Fed continues to raise rates, your credit card rates are going to go up. Take advantage. Pull the equity out of your house. Low fixed 30-year rates. Pay off these credit cards. Any other questions? Okay, so tune in next week. We'll talk more about how veterans and civilians, for that matter, can access the equity in their house, pull it out, and do something better with it than just letting it sit there stagnant in their home. We're Red on Fridays. Thanks for tuning in.